All right, you guys, this is our very last chapter of Rome. We are on chapter 16. It's called East and West. Luciano's last assignment. Luciano glanced ahead in his books. He knew the story of the Roman Empire was nearly over. He felt a little sad because this story was special to him. While studying the Roman Empire, Luciano discovered he liked taking part in class. For his next assignment, the teacher told him to read about Emperor Constantine and the city of Constantinople. Luciano was curious. He hurried home to begin his studies. Constantine takes control. The next day, the teacher told the class about Constantine. After Diocletian retired, the Roman Empire fell into civil war. In time, a strong leader took control of the empire. His name was Constantine. A key victory in Constantine's rise to power came in 312 CE. At the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, Constantine defeated one of his rivals. Constantine was not yet a Christian, but he claimed the Christian God helped him win the battle. In 313 CE, Constantine made an agreement with Licinius, who then ruled the eastern part of the empire. The two agreed to let the Christians practice their religion. This agreement was called the Edict of Milan. Christians were no longer punished for their beliefs. In fact, Constantine actively supported the Christian religion. He is remembered as the first Christian emperor. Alright, so remember, before, Christians used to be persecuted, meaning they were treated unfairly. The Romans didn't like them because they believed different things. Well, now we have this guy named Constantine, and he is now known as the first Christian emperor. So that's going to be really important. Constantine, right here, he is the first Christian emperor. Constantine was a strong emperor. He followed Diocletian's example. He named honest people to help him rule. After Constantine ruled the Roman Empire for a while, he moved the government away from Rome. The teacher turned to Luciano. Luciano, where did Constantine move the government? Constantinople. Luciano was prepared. In 324 CE, Constantine began moving the government of the Roman Empire to Byzantium. Byzantium was an old city in the eastern part of the empire. It had a big racetrack like Rome's Circus Maximus. Constantine thought that Byzantium should have a new name. He named the city Constantinople after himself. Here's a mosaic of Constantine holding a model of Constantinople. So remember, a mosaic is when they take all these really tiny little pieces of tile, so like a little piece like that, and they put them all together to make a bigger picture. You won't find Constantinople on maps today, Luciano continued. The city's name has changed. Today it's called Istanbul, and it's in the country of Turkey. Thank you, Luciano, said the teacher. You did well. The Byzantine Empire. The teacher continued. Constantine ruled from Constantinople for several years. After his death, there were more civil wars. The western part of the Roman Empire eventually broke away from the eastern part. They were now two empires instead of one. All right, so on this map, it's showing us we used to be one huge empire ruling all of these lands, and now it's split. And so this key shows us all the parts that's red is the Western Roman Empire. So all this part around here, remember, here's our part of Italy that looks like the boot. And then this purple part is the Eastern Roman Empire. So this is the eastern part over here. On your quiz, I think it's going to be important for you to know that it's split into the east and the west. Makes sense over here on our compass. The east part is over here. The west part is over here. The Eastern Empire included Constantinople. Because the city was once called Byzantium, the empire was called the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire became powerful and lasted for more than 1,000 years. Constantinople became one of the most important cities in the world. It attracted traders and travelers from Asia, Africa, and Europe. Byzantine philosophers talked about important ideas. Artists blended Greek, Roman, and Middle Eastern styles to create beautiful mosaics and other works of art. The Eastern Empire was ruled by a series of emperors. Justinian was one of the most famous emperors. In Constantinople, Justinian built a beautiful Christian church called Hagia Sophia. Hagia Sophia. And then it looks like this is a picture of it. It says the Emperor Justinian had a Christian church called Hagia Sophia built in Constantinople, which is now called Istanbul. Although Justinian ruled the Eastern Empire, far from Rome, he knew the Romans had built his empire. The empire was governed by Roman laws. Justinian had these Roman laws written down. This collection of laws was known as the Justinian Code. All right, the Western Empire. The teacher continued. The Western Empire was not as strong as the Eastern Empire. By the time Justinian became emperor in the East, the Western Empire had collapsed. How did this happen? The Western Empire was less wealthy than the Eastern Empire. It was also surrounded by warlike neighbors. Barbarians often attacked the borders of the Western Empire. Over time, these barbarians took over more and more Roman land. The armies of the Western Empire could not stop them. Eventually, the barbarians sacked the city of Rome. So if we look over here, it says to steal and destroy things in a city that has been defeated by an army. The Western Empire kept fighting the barbarians for another 60 years. Finally, in 476 CE, the emperor of the Western Empire surrendered to a barbarian leader. The Western Empire had fallen. This event is called the Fall of Rome. All right, so on your quiz, it's going to ask you a question, something like, when did the Western Empire fall? And you're going to need to know this date. 476 CE. That's going to be important for you to know. I would probably write it down so that you can remember it. We have reached the end of our exploration of ancient Rome, said the teacher. We should thank Luciano for helping us to know and understand the Romans. Thank you, Luciano. We are proud of you. All right, that's it. The rest of this book is just the glossary, just telling us what different words mean. And then that's it. All finished. All right, so go ahead and take that very last quiz tomorrow or today if you want to start looking at it. You can watch a video of me just showing you what to do for the test practice. Then you can go ahead and practice it. And then our test is on Friday.